For organizations using federated GraphQL APIs, it's often useful to be able to either mock or prototype new subgraphs within that federated API. And WireMock Cloud, along with an AI coding assistant, can make this very straightforward. This is what I'm going to show you how to do now. I'm starting with an existing federated API. It consists of a bunch of other mocks, but these could quite easily be real implementations of subgraphs. We've got 3 subgraphs in our supergraph at the moment. So we've got the concept of a travel booking, and that has a bunch of attributes, obviously. And then a travel booking can have flights in it, and it can have a hotel as part of it as well. And flight and hotel are managed as separate subgraphs. So in a larger organization, these might be services that are built and managed by separate teams, and therefore contributing different bits of the graph. And what we want to do is add an extra subgraph into this and prototype it. So we don't want to have to go and build a real service in order to check how this works, or to allow our front end teams to start integrating with it. We just want to put something in there and try it out and make sure it's fit for purpose for whichever teams are consuming this bit of the graph. So let's say we want to add a car rental. What I'll do first is run the existing graph and just demonstrate a query being made, and then we'll use AI to generate and then push out a mock API for this additional subgraph. So first of all, I'm going to start a local supergraph runner. So this is Apollo's rover CLI, and it takes the supergraph config file and will run a supergraph server over all of those subgraphs. So I should be able to go and make a booking query back in Apollo Studio, the server I just started, which is connected to localhost 4000 at the moment. And if I hit this query button here, then we get this booking data back. And we have bookings, and within bookings we have flights, and we have a hotel. So I now want to add a car rental to this. So let's go and grab a prompt I made earlier, and I'll stop this server for the time being, and then we'll go and ask Cursor to generate a new schema. And in fact, let's also say create a new GraphQL API in WireMock Cloud. And this new schema. So we're saying create a car schema, update the booking schema so that it has a relationship to cars, and then create a new mock API in WireMock Cloud. By the way, this is using the WireMock CLI MCP server, which we've already connected to Cursor. This instruction to create something in WireMock Cloud, that will happen via the MCP server and will be pushed out to my account in Cloud. In fact, we should say add this to the supergraph. So let's kick this off. This will probably take a little while. There's a slight snag here, which is that it's created a GraphQL API without federation switched on. So let's just go and quickly amend that in WireMock Cloud. If I hit refresh here, we see this car rental service. This is what was created in that AI session. And we can drop into here easily enough, and in the GraphQL settings part, and turn on enable federation. And let's just ask it to try that again. So we're now asking it to upload the federated version of the schema because it generated one without the federation stuff. It should work correctly now. Okay, that's more like it. So if we head back over to here and hit refresh, okay, now we can see the federation attributes in here, so that's all good. Now, in principle, if we accept all the files, we should be able to run our new supergraph, and we should be able to query for cars as well. So the way WireMock Cloud works with GraphQL is that it will serve you something valid for any valid query that you provide against a given schema, but with kind of randomly generated data in there with best guesses at the right generator for a particular type. So we should be able to make a new query, adding the car rentals part in, and we should get back some valid but dubious looking data. Okay, so now we've got our bookings back, and in this instance, hopefully, we should be able to see car rentals. Okay, So now there are car rentals appearing in the results where there weren't before. So one thing we'll notice is that the data has become a lot more random, but we can use AI to fix this for us quite easily. So I'm going to go back into WireMock Cloud now. If I go into the request log in here, we'll see that this is the query that was made to this subgraph as a result of that query that I just made in the Apollo Studio. And yeah, so as we can see, this is going and fetching cars for a specific booking. Here's all the data, the randomly generated data that came out. And what I can do is click this convert to stub button here. So we can say get car rental and save that. So now we're saying this particular query will return this particular data. So it's still the same random data at the moment, but by doing this, we're giving the AI something to work with. So let's go and do the same for the booking subgraph as well. So again, let's go and find the latest query, the one that was made just now, and convert this to get booking with car rentals. Okay, that will probably do for now. So now I'm going to ask the AI to improve those stubs. So I'm saying find all the stubs I've created today. So in practice, it's going to be those sort of snapshots that I took from the request log. And I'm going to ask the AI to improve the data to make it look more realistic. So let's do that. Okay, so I think it's updated the stubs in the ones that we care about. So let's go and run this query again. And hopefully now we should start seeing some nicer looking data again. The bookings themselves have now got some nice realistic looking data on them. And hopefully this will also be the same for car rentals as well. Okay, so again, we've got some realistic looking data in there for the entities that we asked for. And obviously we could do this for the flights and the hotels as well. We could also ask the AI to produce more variations of this data and generally flesh out our mocks in order to explore how the data would look and also to support whatever sort of testing and demo activities we want to do with our client applications that we're building, all without having to ever build a real subgraph implementation service. So hopefully, in a nutshell, that demonstrates how WireMock can support the development of federated supergraphs and how using AI coding assistants can simplify and accelerate that process.